Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. So, you guys, this is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika, and I am here to do a review on The Oval, okay? The Command Performance, Season 3, Episode 14. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, okay? I was not going to do this review because the Oval reviews I've done so far haven't gotten that much views, and there's so many shows that come on Tuesday. I was asking people to put it in the comments if they wanted me to continue doing the reviews for this show, and I did have some people that was like, yes, please, continue, do them. And so I'm trying to continue it for you guys, all right, because I hate to start something and not finish it, but my Tuesdays are so hectic with the reviews that I already do. And like I said, if this one is not going to get that much views, then it doesn't really make sense for me to continue with it. But I figured I would at least finish the season off, okay? So shout out to you guys that did comment. Shout out to my new subscribers and everybody that's been liking and commenting. I appreciate you guys so much, okay? So I am going to at least finish out the season for y'all, all right? And I have to say that I did enjoy this episode, all right, because with the Oval, sometimes for me is a hit and a miss. Some episodes I'm like, okay, this was cool, and some other ones I'll just be like, y'all getting a little too crazy for me, okay? Because just keeping it real, my favorite Tyler Perry show is Sisters, all right? I think he does a great job with that one. I used to love the Have and the Have-Nots, but I hated the way that ended, okay? He gave us a daggone Game of Thrones ending with that, okay? And so it just is what it is when it comes to this. But I enjoyed this episode, to be honest. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Donald tells, the Secret Service to go ahead and put Victoria behind down because we basically picked up where we left off, where she done fainted and they carrying her in, like she supposed to be all out of it, and he asking for a doctor and they lay her down in the chair. And he basically starts clapping like, okay, girl, you could get up now. They gone. And, she's asking him how she did. And, of course, he's like, you did great, okay? I'm like, if I didn't know that your behind was trash, I would have believed the performance, okay? You did what you were supposed to do. With that, I cannot lie. And so, she's like, he was like, it was wicked. You put it on. So she was like, well, we're not leaving the White House, right? She was like, do you think that that's still the deal, basically, where now they wouldn't be messing with him, messing with them rather, and be still trying to get them out of there. And so he gives her credit where credit is due. He's like, yo, you did good. You were flawless. That he was actually strangely surprised. Like I said, if he didn't know her behind was already lying, then he would have believed it, okay? And so then she, the doctor checks on her, whatever, and she says, I'm fine, thank you. And the doctor go ahead, and leaves out. And of course, she waiting for her to leave before she continues to talk. And Donald checking, looking in the other room to make sure ain't nobody around. And then he closes that door. And, she's basically like, yeah, I did so good, that, you want to be me. And Donna was like, yeah, that's my every waking dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all want to be you. And then, she like, oh, go to hell or whatever the case may be. And so, Donald says, to be honest, I think I'm already there. All right. And, she basically started, she started saying, how are we doing? How's it coming along? Are you getting any feedback yet? Is anybody saying anything? And he tells her, well, you and your husband are, basically trending. And she's like, okay, is that a good or a bad thing? And he was saying that it's hard, to tell right now. And he basically was, again, telling her that she should get her behind to the hospital, okay, and see what the hell is going on. And she was like, oh, well, I need an outfit, to make my presence, what it should be. And she was like, I should call your wife for that. And then she's like, where is your wife, by the way? She's like, oh, yeah, you don't even know where she's at, right? And so she basically was telling him to make sure that he gets the staff, you know, to make this work. And he says he's on it. And she tells him that he better not ever question her again. And he's like, oh, I would never, think of doing that. And then she was asking him where's his little tight butt partner, of course, talking about Cal, which I'm wondering when the hell he gonna find out what happened to Cal. And she's back to telling him he needs to come out the closet, and he's like, Leo, you got more important things to be worried about, or whatever the case may be. Then we had Richard telling Barry that he better not say nothing, okay? And he's like, she's going to be fine. He's on top of everything. But what I need you to not do is open your mouth and say anything about what's going on in this damn White House, okay? And he was like, I'm trying to trust you with whatever little information you do know. And we can't talk about anything else. And don't tell your mother anything about this. And at this point, Nancy is screaming for him to come in. And when they get in there, it's basically a news story talking about how, the first son, Jason, jumped off the damn, roof or whatever. So I'm like, really, Nancy? That's what you were screaming and calling them for? Like, I'm pretty sure he worked there. He already damn know about it. But, of course, they just showing in the news story everything that Victoria said with her putting on the blame on him for his, the crimes that's been committed and things of that nature. And Barry and them saying that, they heard it in the news in the car, and she's asking Richard what happened, knowing damn well Richard can't tell her about it, even if he did know. And then, Richard is like, dag, this boy, he was like, I can't. And so, Barry want to act like he have an attitude talking about he can't seem to tell us nothing these days. Like, Barry, you already know he can't discuss White House stuff. So, anyway, Nancy's basically asking what's wrong with him. He's like, he'll be all right. And then she asks him if he's hungry. And he's like, yeah. And, she go ahead to feed him. And so then she did let him know that she did speak to Priscilla, that Priscilla stopped by. And he's like, what did she say? And she was like, well, she just said she's not going to take no time off. She ain't having it. She going to do what she going to do. And so he was like, what does that mean? And she was like, listen, she told me everything. And, you already know how she is. So she was like, maybe you might want to suspend her. He was like, well, I'm not her boss. She was like, well, then maybe you could go to her boss. And he was like, that would not be smart. And she was like, so wait, you gonna wait till she do something stupid? And he basically was like, I'm gonna talk to Sam. So she was like, Lord, really? She was like, I know Sam ought to be tired every time you turn around. We coming to him about something. But she was like, come on, let me just go ahead and feed you. So like I said, they go ahead to eat. So then we have Sam talking to Cal, okay? And this part was funny to me because Sam is like literally paying this dude no mind. He's like, listen, I need you to tell me what's going on, let me know everything that's happening. And, of course, Cal is just talking his junk, and he's saying, does Donald even know that I'm here? And Sam admits to him that he doesn't know that he's there. And he's like, well, when he finds out, you're going to be in some big mess. And, he was like, I would suggest you get me out of here before he do, with Cal crazy behind. And so he's like, what exactly is your plan? What do you think you getting accomplished by keeping me down here? And Sam was like, well, that depends on what the vice president finds. At the end of the day, I have orders from him. And Cal is basically telling him, like, you stupid, you just wait, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how much you messing yourself up. You don't know how deep, you don't put yourself in. And so Sam was like, well, you seem real comfortable with Donald. You keep bringing up his name. And Kyle is basically like, yeah, because that's my man. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get down. We basically getting our freak on, okay? And so Sam was like, oh, that explains a lot, And he's just telling him that he's there under the order of the vice president. And so, like I said, he goes back to trying to interrogate Kyle and get something out of him. And Kyle's like, oh, you really want to know the truth? Basically telling him you can't handle the truth, okay? And he was like, you really want to know everything? So he's like, yeah, I need you to spill it all. What happened with Yuma? Why is all of this stuff happening, or whatever the case may be? And Kyle is telling him the vice president has no authority. And he's like, well, he does. Look where you at, okay? And so Cal finally was like, okay, you want to know everything, Sam? You think you can handle it? And he was like, yep, everything, tell me. And so Cal starts to go into the fact that, they don't care about the president. This is not a matter of, he was like, I'm going to tell you just to show you how stupid you are. He was like, this is not a matter of like the president being voted in and people thinking that he could do the job or liking him or whatever. He was like, the president is basically in the pocket of many major global corporations. Okay, they don't want him to work, they don't want him to be smart, they just want him in office so that they can make their deals and have him sign them. That's it, period, point blank. And he was like, you're not against him, he's not the problem, it goes so much bigger than him, and these type of people have trillions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, this is going to be your downfall, you a damn fool. And so basically Sam is like, so what you're trying to tell me? He was like, that's all I'm telling you, and Sam is like, oh, okay. So the next thing you know, of course, Cal being crazy Cal, he starts to threaten Sam's wife and everything. Like any family you have, whoever your wife, your family, everybody you love is gonna be in danger. You're gonna rue the day you met me. I was like, who the hell be talking like that? Kyle, really rue the day, but okay. And so he's like, Sam tells him, well, you shouldn't have said that. And he was like, I just couldn't be responsible for you. So Cal's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he was like, you let me out of here. And Sam basically tells him, see you, and walks away. And then, Cal is still talking his mess, still telling him once Donald finds out. And then Sam is like, yeah, okay, like I'm shaking in my boots, and he goes walking out. And so you have Sharon, Kareem, and Dell get back home. They basically, Dell says he's going to go lay down or whatever have you. And then he ends up sitting right there at the I think it was like a bench or whatever that was like a stool that was by the counter or whatever in the kitchen area. And Donald calls Dell at that same time to see if Kyle is with him. And he's like, oh, I know he's with you, and basically making threats to him again. And so, Kareem is asking, what the hell is this about? Who was that? And Dell is basically telling him, like, yo, that's that damn guy that called me, that shot me with the non-lethal rounds. And I don't know why Dell has to say every damn minute that it was non-lethal rounds. Like, does it really freaking matter, And, he starts going into the whole thing about Donald and Cal. And so at this point, Kareem don't believe him. He like, so you're telling me that the White House is involved in this whole situation that happened with you. And they basically came and took, Sharon and is involved with her too or whatever. And, what happened to her too. And he was like, they was telling him, yeah, Sharon was like, it's true. You know what I'm saying? And then she starts to tell him about what happened to her. And so Kareem says he needs a drink. Sharon was like, you know what I'm saying, I need one too. Dale gonna talk about he gonna pour the drink. And Sharon was like, how the hell are you pouring anything? Like, boy, sit down, I got it. So she goes over and gets the drink for them or whatever. And Kareem busy talking about some, calling the police and this and that. And they was like, we can't call the police. Like, they got some of the police in their damn pocket. This goes higher than the police. What you think the police is gonna do? And Sharon is telling him how she got Richard helping, and he talking about, well, what is he going to do? He just a butler. She was like, yeah, but he knows of the people in Secret Service and all of that kind of stuff that can help. So they're already working on stuff. So it's not nothing else for us to do but for us to just wait. And at first he's like, laughing at them, and he's like, what? This can't be serious. This can't be real. He was like, y'all really gonna have these people, scare y'all and intimidate y'all. And of course Kareem always swear he know it all. That's why he ain't never been one of my favorite people. And he's like I said, saying, oh, what Richard supposed to do, and he's a butler and blah blah blah. Shit, he's in a better damn position than you, Kareem. But okay. So nonetheless, after they all take a shot, Kareem want to talk about he going for a walk. And I'm already thinking in my head, like, Kareem, where you going to walk your behind to? Like, you going to do something stupid, aren't you? So, anyway, we see, Alonzo go back and check on Alan again. And, Alan is basically asking for his gun. And he does give it to him, and he's basically saying you're not gonna do nothing stupid, and he asking him when he's gonna come back to work, and he's saying he don't know, and it's like, I don't know, Alonzo, I don't, you just like, are you not picking up on it? Do you not see how hurt and downtrodden this man is, how much he looked like he want to give up, how out of it he is with the situation that happened, how hard he's going about what he believes to have happened? You have been there and seen things, so I don't understand why is it so hard for you to believe him, and why you seem like you so oblivious until how this man is feeling right now. Like, it just seems weird to me, and I've never even been a damn big fan of what you call it, Allen's, but I'm actually feeling kind of bad for him right now in this moment, how he's looking, and I'm not understanding why he even still there, because honestly, if it was me, I would have been done, packed up my stuff and been gone. Y'all talking about when y'all coming back to work, y'all would have been like, well, where the hell is Allen at? We don't know. When we went to his apartment, he was gone. Okay, that would have been all she wrote for me, but nonetheless, he's still there. And so then we had the vice president's wife trying to get him back to bed. She's saying that he's saying that he been getting all these different calls, and she was like, they not gonna believe these people, and he was like, no, they are. And she was like, well, why didn't we get his son to help? She was like, we should be, asking questions. And he was like, I know that, you're not telling me nothing that I don't know. And she was like, well, we got to make sure we have a legitimate outlet that's going to ask all these questions. And he was like, I hear you. And so she basically, was like, look, we got them on the ropes. We just got to keep them there, and we got to apply pressure on them. That's it. That's all we could do. And so, he basically was like, they're going to get rid of me. And she was like, no, we can't let that happen. You're going to be the next president. And I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like, y'all should have covered y'all bases before this, because y'all already know how these people get down. Okay. And so she's telling him to relax. I don't know how the hell he could relax, but he said he trying to. And she just, basically telling him to come to bed. And he's like, look, no, I can't go to bed until we have a plan. And she's telling him after a good night's rest, we'll have a plan. Girl, wouldn't even be sleeping. You got to sleep with one eye open. But he's telling them they evil and they don't deserve to be in the office. And she was like, we got this, and you know it. And so I was like, I don't know, but I hope y'all not at your regular house that y'all normally be at. I would not be trusting none of these people. And she was like, they threaten our kids. And so this is war. We got to get low down and dirty in this bitch, okay? And take them down. And that's just what it is. And so he's like, yeah. And she's like, we're going to prevail. We will. I hope y'all do, but I doubt it, sis, okay? Just being honest. And so she tells him, now come on. And, he was like, you go up, I'll be up in a minute. And he still wants to be there, a little bit longer, because he thinking like I'm thinking, like, nah, we ain't safe. This ain't okay. But anyway, Lily has a bad dream. She wakes up and she's kind of like gasping for air, having a panic attack. I guess she had PTSD now after what she went through. And she says she can't believe that he did that to her, At this point, she's waking up. I don't forgot his daggone name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Bobby's partner. She done waking him up out of his sleep, and she says she needs air, and she's trying to get over there to the window, and he's basically telling her like, no, you can't open the window. And she's talking about, oh, well, why can't I go to the window? Girl, because do you want your head blown off? You don't know who the hell out there who may see you looking through the damn window. That's why. And so, but I know how that is when you having a panic attack, because I do get them, and that ain't no joking. You do be feeling like, she's breathing. So anyway, Max, that's his name. Okay. I know sometimes I forget these names. He asked her if she's okay. And they say, yeah, go back to bed. And then, he's trying to give her some water, and she doesn't want to take the water. She's like, no, I'm okay. And, he's just trying to get her to get settled back down and, like I said, lay down and go to bed or whatever the case may be. But I feel you, Lily, because I wouldn't really be able to sleep either. I would have to know that all these damn people was put away before I even think about laying down somewhere. And so then Kareem dumb behind takes his behind to the police station anyway. I'm wondering where the hell his dumb behind was going to. And that's where it was, y'all. And so, we have Donald there at the hospital, and Hunter's telling him he saw the news. He's like, she really spun it, huh? And Donald's like, yeah, she did. And, he's just looking at Justin and stuff like that. And he was like, well, do you think she did good? He was like, yeah, she did, considering. And so, you know, Hunter's like, yeah, considering that she gave up her son. And Donald's like, yeah. And he was just shaking his head or whatever. He was like, she's so cold hearted and cold blooded, and he basically was like, Donald was saying to him, I'm sorry, sir. And Hunter's like, look at this poor kid. He was like, he never had a chance with a mother like that. And, he was like, Donald was trying to say, I'm sure she did her best, sir. And then he was like, just looking at him like, boy, if you think that was her best, he was like, look, she was raised with no love, no compassion, in a family that wins at all costs with no remorse. And I kind of like that part, of Hunter, because as crazy as he is, as sexist as he is, misogynistic, and just disgusts me sometimes, I can say when it comes to his kids, he does seem like he genuinely cares. He knows that they just put him there to be a damn pawn. And, he basically, at least when it comes to them, like I said, seems to care. And he's basically also giving us a little backstory in the fact of Victoria being brought up with no love and no compassion. And so it's like, I'm curious to know how the hell you was brought up, Hunter. But I thought that was interesting, right? And so, Donald is asking him at this point if he wants to head back to the White House. He's like, no, I want to stay here with my son. Donald was like, are you sure? He was like, yeah. And he tells him, okay. And so here come Victoria behind, finally strolling in. Oh, okay. Of course he's going to stay by his side. And she's like, look at all these nurses. And, oh, he's got to make a move. And he was like, you are, what's the word? And he was like, awful, And she was like, wow, you want to talk about me using this moment and I'm not using it for tits and ass or whatever. And he was like, well, this is a hospital. Maybe there's something, that you could do with yours. And so she talking about, damn, he looks bad. And he was like, yeah, well, if you fool several damn stories, that'll do it. You know what I mean? And he was like, just like Gail said she was going to do it. And then, she was like, damn, these kids are messed up. And, she's like, well, he says, why don't you head back to the White House? And she was like, I would love to, dear, but I'm going to sit here and pretend to really be concerned for the nation. So it's like Victoria still being Victoria. And then she going to tell him he should thank her. And then she was like, by the time I'm done with that second family, they will look like they're the evil ones and will be portrayed as, the ones that were just trying to help our son. And so, he was like, yeah, you said a lot up there at the podium or whatever the case may be. And he also was telling her that a lot of that could be refuted. And she was like, well, we'll have records created to prove them wrong. Politics 101, cover up the worst, than the crime. And so she talking about, well, no, not that I'm running shit, And so he says, well, you think you got it figured all out, don't you? And she's like, no, but I still haven't figured it all out, and I still haven't figured out how to kill you and get away with it. And, he's telling her, well, your dad tried. He couldn't apparently figure it out either. And so she was like, well, I wish he would have succeeded. And, Donald's like, you know what? Excuse me. Because even Donald, as freaking grimy as he is, gets damn disgusted with her and her damn foolishness. And so she was like, shouldn't you be at, home? And he's basically like, excuse me. And he was like, he thinks she's on your side. And he was like, well, I'll handle that one, because she was telling him that they think the vice president thinks that Donald's wife is on his side, and he's saying he'll handle that. And then he's like, excuse me, like I said, he just wants to get the hell up out the room from them, and I can't blame him. And here come Victoria coming to the hospital dressed in all day in black like it's a funeral already. And so he leaves out the room, and then it was just Hunter left in there, and she just was still looking at Justin or whatever have you. And so then he gets, the information that this person is at the police station saying they have some information. And he tells the guy to go ahead and take care of it, and the guy's like, yes, sir. And I'm just like, Kareem, you just couldn't be more stupid, could you? And so, I guess with everything that was going on and the fact that Cal made threats talking about that, Sam or his wife or whatever could be hurt. When Priscilla comes downstairs, she sees Sam sitting in the living room. Of course, she's going off about that, saying, how the hell you keep getting in here? I keep changing my damn locks or whatever. And I told you not to come in no more. He like, that ain't stopping me. I don't mean, nothing. And he was like, look, this is my house. I want to come make sure everything is all right. I'm going to be here. And that's that. And she was like, well, why don't you go upstairs and get in the damn bed while you at it? And he basically was like, oh, okay. And she was like, listen, you better not go up to that room. And he was like, all right. He was like, as a matter of fact, I got to go back out or whatever the case may be. But when I come back, when I finish, I will be back. And so she was like, damn, basically mad that, he still was basically coming up in there. Then we had the Secret Service guy, show up to the jail. And it was a cop sitting there with Kareem or whatever the case may be, sat him down. And the guy comes walking in and he's saying to him, yeah, I'm here. I'm the one that said I had some info. But he was like, telling him, like, is your sergeant coming or what? And then the cop is like, yeah, and he's looking mad nervous or whatever. And so here come the Secret Service walking in, and Kareem and his dumb ass is sitting there waiting. And the Secret Service says, hi. And then Kareem is like, he was like, so I was told you was talking about the president. And Kareem, dumbass, yeah. And then he's like, who are you? Why you don't have on a uniform? Which that wasn't really proof, because some detectives or whatever be wearing suits. But he was like, well, where's your uniform? And so he was like, oh, I'm not that kind of cop. And then he was like, I'm not that kind of cop or whatever. And he was like, I'm a Secret Service or whatever. So, he did tell him the truth. And then, Kareem gonna talk about, I think I made a mistake. And the guy was like, yeah, I'll say. And he was like, look, why don't I just get out of here? You know what I'm saying? We forget about all this. In the meantime, he putting his damn gloves off and he telling Kareem, shh, just wait. Why, and Kareem is saying, why are you putting those gloves on? And he asking the cop for help. And he talking about, hey, wait. The damn cop walking the other way. And they done grabbed damn, Kareem and basically got his hand over his damn mouth. And I'm like, see, Kareem, with your dumb behind. Like, what the hell was you doing? No, for real. What was you doing? That's what happens when people think they know it all and they think they freaking smarter than you, right? So anyway, you guys, I'm sorry if that wasn't the best, because like I said, it's been a long week and I haven't been feeling too hot, a lot going on, but I did at least try to still get that out to you. I hope you enjoyed it. What do y'all think is gonna happen to Kareem crazy behind? Do y'all think Jason is gonna make it? Is Victoria behind gonna get to these damn vice president and his wife? Or do y'all think the vice president and his wife may, be able to have a couple more things up their sleeve? Put it all in the comments, okay? Tell me how you feeling about how it's going so far. And until next time, okay? Salute.